Hey everyone, and welcome to our first podcast titled Make Things Make Sense. We're excited to share the things we learned along our business journey with you. My name's Alex. I'm one of the directors and co-founders of Growth Gurus, and I'm joined by my amazing business partner, Mr. Joshua O'Cock.
Hi Alex, thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's so exciting to be here. We've talked about this podcast and we are now on the air, and that feels so awesome. Over the years we've made a lot of things make sense. There's still a few we're making make sense, so I'm super excited to share that with everyone listening.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a special journey for us both. We've done a lot of different live shows over our time, and we've always, we've been on stages talking, we've done blogs, and now we're venturing into the podcast world. So I think the most important thing that most people are going to want to know about is, what are we talking about? Who are we talking to? Well, if you're a business owner or a manager of some level, you'll probably find a lot of what we have to talk about super insightful. If you're not one of those things, hopefully it's really insightful for you too.
Yeah. Well, look, this is very in line with our purpose, which is helping businesses grow. So naturally, that this content will be most engaging to business owners or managers or people in a position where they have the power to help businesses grow. Some of the lessons will be also exciting for other audiences, but most likely that's who's going to be most appealed to by this podcast. Over the years, we've learned a lot of lessons. We've made a few mistakes, had some big wins, and it's in our DNA to love to share and to love to teach people and share our experiences with people. So I'm sure we're going to do a good job at that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you first listeners are too. So a little bit about us. We started Growth Gurus 7 years ago. Growth Gurus is a digital marketing agency based in Malta, a beautiful Mediterranean island. We've had the privilege of serving companies all over the world, from New York to Vancouver to London to Frankfurt, places in Belgium,
Brussels, Australia, Tokyo,
Japan,
Malta. We've literally worked with businesses around the world, haven't we?
Precisely. And we've been very lucky enough to offer them many, many services, but we've always broken it down into three. That's our branding, that's our websites, and that's our marketing. Of course, you've got all the peripherals that come with those services, but in a nutshell, that's what we do. We also offer consultancy and training and have an e-learning platform. So, yeah.
You know what's super exciting, though? This business that we've started, it's gotten us into some pretty big boy conversations, hasn't it? It's gotten us sat around some tables talking about big things with big companies that we probably wouldn't have dreamed of being in those positions or having those conversations at such an influential level when we first started this company.
Well, to give a bit of context to people, how did we first start this company?
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Well, I think our story, it starts with a single desk. We had only one desk when we could only afford one desk, which was actually shared with another company where I was working. We also had one screen, so the first thing we managed to make sense was how to share a desk, right?
Yeah.
So we connected a single screen and we used the G Suite, the Google Drive.
We used Google Docs it was your computer on your table plugged into one screen. You had Google Docs open, then I had a version of Google Docs open, and I was sat opposite you, and so we kind of co-shared that one screen by co-working on Google Slides.
On Google Slides, so you could use the Google Slides or Docs to kind of control the big screen when needed, and I could work on something else at that time.
That was pretty funny.
So those are good days. I mean, now we've got a hell of a lot more screens than one, and also more desks in our new office that we moved into. Well, it feels new. We actually moved into it just before COVID broke out, so it's been
so still very new.
Still very new.
Unused.
Now that is something that was written in no manual, no user handbook taught us how to deal with that pandemic. But
we're going to share those insights with you, how we evolved our business, and honestly, we're so much stronger. I mean, we're faster. We've gone from Bruce Banner to the Hulk in terms of Growth Gurus growing as a business. We were Bruce Banner, we were smart, but we were a bit weak. And now we're the Hulk, the smart Hulk, from the new MCU. And for you nerds out there that understand me, in layman's terms, we went from student to professor.
Yeah. Structure. Structure was such a key thing. I feel so much more secure and confident, and I feel actually
in COVID rather than out of it, even.
less stressed now than we did before. So there's definitely what to expect coming up to our listeners. Some lessons that were thrown at us, which we had to really think quick and adapt fast. Some work we've done with some pretty top consultants and facilitators along the way as well. So there will definitely be some meaty, impactful content coming out on these podcasts of things we've been through that we can maybe help you fast track to go through if the same situation happens to you.
In a nutshell, we've been through a lot of emotional trauma. We've wasted a lot of money or spent a lot of money and countless hours trying to learn and become better. We've read all the books you're supposed to read. We've got all the consultants, all the trainers. We've watched all the videos, gone to all the conferences. And we know what works for us, and we want to share that with you. For further context, maybe you want to know a bit about us. Josh, why don't you tell them a bit about you personally?
Perfect. I guess I grew up in Malta, but when I was 18, I finished school, went to study at the University of Manchester. I think that's where the boy became a man, being kicked out, being thrown out of his nest, and I loved it. I really got a deep connection with all the business going on in the city, and the music industry there was really pumping. And I was told join a society, so I joined the Ski and Snowboard Society as their marketing and communications or some social secretary role. I got really into it, studying at the business school as well. I went on to stay there for a few years, did a master's degree after my undergrad, focusing on information systems and business management, where my thesis was directed to my own university, and I wrote about how to improve their communication effectiveness with their students. And one of my recommendations was to utilize social media platforms. Back then they weren't so popular. I guess I'll give
really
away
far back.
give away my age here, but that was 2010 when I wrote that thesis, focusing on leveraging social media platforms to have more smooth communication. That landed me a job. So then I started working on implementing those recommendations within the university itself. 8 years later, I moved to Malta to join a startup in the mobile games development space. It was a sort of match made in heaven. I felt like perhaps it was time for a change, and I got offered a job by an American company in Malta, where I was relocated
back home.
Back
Little
home.
did they know you got relocated back home.
It was quite beautiful. We built some pretty awesome games in that company. We didn't make any money, almost. So the marketing was on point.
I'll just add a note, story of your life until we started working together, but that's a lesson we'll keep sharing for later.
For sure, yeah. Let's share that lesson, and I'd like to go even deeper into why and how.
Not making money.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one.
Yeah. So then, long story short, rolled out the marketing function into what is today Growth Gurus. And we've also invested into a couple of other business ventures along the way. And Growth Gurus has grown into a strong team, strong agency, working with hundreds of businesses around the globe. And I'm very proud of what we've achieved and excited for the next journeys.
So for those of you that may or may not have heard of EOS, which is a business management sort of structure, Josh is our visionary. So you can also call him the CEO. We prefer visionary because he's in charge of holding on to our vision and sort of driving the company forward, coming up with the 20 ideas. And then my role as the integrator is to say no to most of those ideas. Oddly enough, I come from, let's say, a more flamboyant background. My life was in the entertainment industry for 10 years. I was a DJ, I was a music producer. Those who can't do teach. So I opened a school in Amsterdam and brought it to Malta. And then continued my sort of music career in events organization, organizing festivals here and abroad, and just playing music. It was a really fun life, and because of that, I got to build myself up to understand all the tools and technology. It's always been my foundations. I come from an audio engineering background. and just tools and tech and how it works really always amazed me. Social media was on the rise. Sneak peek, that's how my name became Alex Thompson, because I was Alex Mitzi and I still legally am. But when Facebook came up, I refused to use it for the first year or two. My friend was like, oh yeah, get it. It'd be great to promote your parties. So, I set up this profile for DJ Alex Thompson, and 15, 17 years later, 90% of the population know me as Alex Thompson, but my legal name's Alex Mitzi. So there's a tidbit about me. I then unfortunately got robbed, lost absolutely everything, and started applying for jobs in social media, because that was what I was good at this time, aside from playing some music. Met Josh, and our beautiful career together began. So,
was that 2015 or 14?
15, I think.
2015.
Yeah, so we're 2021 today, for anyone listening to this into the future. That's it. We just really wanted to give you context into what to expect from us. This is not the most educational or making things make sense podcast just yet, but we felt it was really important for you, the listeners, to get to know who we are.
Yeah. So in these podcasts, you can hear our stories, you can share parts of our journey, you can learn from our mistakes. Also, maybe even celebrate some of our wins. But the aim here, let's be very clear, it's on helping you as a business owner or a manager to grow, helping you to grow your business. We'll be sharing some tips and tricks, looking into some tools, some tech, some learnings. And we just want to create that chain reaction that will positively impact you and your business, so that you can continue to positively impact the people you serve and those around you, and those less fortunate too. I mean, a big part of what we do also revolves around CSR. We didn't mention that yet, but we've been giving back to the community since our very first year in various ways. We want to keep that impact rolling. So I really hope this will be one of your regular podcasts. So yeah. I guess it's time to invite everyone to click subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for all the future posts. We'll be on social media as well, on the Growth Gurus channels, and you can subscribe onto the podcast and stay tuned for everything that's to come.
Yeah, just one thing I'd add. If you don't follow us, please do check out We Art Love. That's our sponsors. Well, actually, we sponsor them. But they're a big, beautiful community that create art to help the children in the Philippines. It would be really awesome if you check that out. You don't even need to check us out, but if you do, we're Growth Gurus. Find us at growthgurus.com, at Growth Gurus on all your other social media. We're not so great at Twitter, but you'll definitely find us on Instagram and Facebook. We're learning still. So yeah, that's a bit about us. We hope this provides you some context, and we really look forward to making things make sense with you in the coming podcasts.
Let's make things make sense.
Thanks, Josh.
Boom.